I'll tell you, just based on who's playing quarterback, Mike Tomlin is going to have his first losing season this year, based on the two guys that play quarterback for him. You know who is number one in the league as far as time spent holding the football from snap to throw?
I'm going to assume it was either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields.
Justin Fields was number one. You know who was number two?
I'm going to assume it's Russell Wilson.
It was Russell Wilson.
So Schlereth would go on to say that sacks are a quarterback stat, and because these Steelers quarterbacks, whomever it may be, Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, are going to take so many sacks, well, the Steelers are going to finish 8-9 this year. And, okay, even if you want to subscribe to the theory there from Stink, that's what he goes by, Stink, Mark Schlereth, that sacks are a quarterback statistic. Justin Fields took 44 sacks last year. Russell Wilson took 45 sacks last year. Those are high numbers. The Steelers gave up 36 sacks last year, whether it was Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, or Mitch Trubisky. And we did see Kenny run into sacks, and Mitch Trubisky in particular run into sacks. And then there were a couple of times in that Ravens game at the end of the season when Mason Rudolph held the ball for longer than he should have, and it led to sacks. Okay, fine. You can make it a quarterback statistic if you want to make it a quarterback statistic. I'm not going to make the leap that Schlereth made, though. That because these quarterbacks have a propensity to take sacks, that all of a sudden you're going to look up at the end of the year and you go, oh, man, the Steelers had a losing record. Because I don't think a difference in 9 sacks is going to have that big of an effect on the win-loss number of this team. If sacks are a quarterback stat, and Russell Wilson's going to come in here and take 45 sacks this year, that's only 9 more. 9 more than Steelers quarterbacks took all of last year. And you might say, 9 sounds like a big number. It's less than a sack a game. It's about half a sack a game. I don't think that an extra half a sack a game is going to make that big of a difference when you consider that Russell Wilson is going to do a lot of other things better than the other Steelers quarterbacks from last year. Russell Wilson in the red zone, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception in 2023 in an offense that he probably didn't like all that much. It's why Peyton wanted to move on from him. He played off schedule, off platform. The sack thing probably had something to do with that. But Russell Wilson knows where to go with the ball. He'd been around. He won a Super Bowl. He's still got a great deep ball. He's still really good off of play action. Those things are more important to me than the extra half a sack a game that he might run into. To think that Russell Wilson's going to come in here and you're going to have a worse record in 2024 than you did in 2023 when your quarterbacks were Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph is asinine to me. Even if you are a new age football maven and you buy hook, line, and sinker into what Mark Schlereth is selling, that sacks are a quarterback statistic more than an offensive line statistic, you can't convince me that a half a sack a game is going to negatively affect them more than all the positives Russell Wilson's going to bring to the table. You just can't. And let's say it is Justin Fields. I don't think it will be, but let's say it is Justin Fields. He took 45 sacks. So actually, he took 44 sacks, So 1 less sack brings you down below that half a sack a game threshold, and he also runs the ball really well. So if it's Justin Fields, he's rushed for 1,000 yards in an NFL season before at the quarterback position. And you're going to tell me that that means less than an extra half a sack per game added to the Steelers sack total this year? I'm not buying it. We've also had analysts jump on with us and say that Russell Wilson is going to be playing, or Justin Fields is going to be playing behind the best offensive lines that they've ever played for in their career. So, yeah, they hold on to the ball, and yeah, according to Schlereth, sacks are a quarterback stat. I do believe that with the talent the Steelers have assembled on this year offensive line, that you can buy your quarterbacks a little extra time back there. So maybe it won't be 44 or 45 sacks. Maybe it'll be 40. But even if it is 44 or 45, does the negative outweigh the positive of having a real veteran Super Bowl champion quarterback in there? The answer for me is definitively no. Maybe you don't buy that the Steelers are going to be a great football team this year or a division contender or anything like that. They are going to have a really tough strength of schedule. But I think reasonable people look at this offseason and think about the quarterback position and think they're going to get better play at that position than they did last year. And last year, they won 10 games. So Schlereth, love the analysis, don't love the leap.